Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see about education and arts in Sangam age. That is in prehistoric time itself. Prehistoric means when we do not have evidence about any written evidence about what happened. That is called as prehistoric time. How ancient Tamil people learnt and how they taught others, for that we do not have any evidence. But we can understand that they were having knowledge about everything through the drawings which we find in the caves, and maybe they used this as a tool to educate the next generation also. And not only education, through this they were also expertising in ovia kalai, that is in painting and drawing. And whether they are in a uncivilized manner, and from that to how they got civilized, in that time they understood the importance of education. And ordinary people also had good knowledge about letters, that is writing, and about maths. And for this we have evidence from the excavations which happened in Kiradi, because there we have got pots which have letters on them, and even we have Puliman Kumbai which has kalvettugal in it, that is inscriptions on it. And in Varlatru Kalam, that is in historical age, where we have written evidence or some evidence, we find that Tamil people knew the importance of education. And in Tirukural alone, we find 4 adhikarangal which talks about kalvi, that is education. It tells what kutramara karka vendum, that is you should, what you are learning, you should learn correctly and fully. அதன்படி நடக்க வேண்டும். You should what you have learned, you should utilize it in your life, and you have to do your things and express yourself according to education. கல்வி உலகம் முழுவதையும் தன் சொந்த ஊராகவே கருத வைக்கும். That is, if you are an educated person, wherever you go, you will be accepted as that person. That is, they own person. People will accept you wherever you go. And Kalvi Selvam Ondre Adiya Selvam. Education is the only wealth which will never leave you till you are there. Kalladavan Meni Adagu or Bommeke Nikaranadu. That is, you may be very beautiful, but if you are not educated, you are only a doll. Kalviye Vida Kelviye Mempatadu. That is, more than education, questioning and understanding things is more important, and it is better than that. யார் எது சொன்னாலும் அதன் உண்மை பொருளை அறிவதே நல்லறிவு. That is, whoever says whatever it is, you should investigate in it, ask questions, and find out the truth and understand it. This is only true education, says Thiruvalluvar in Thirukural. And in those days, everyone had the rights to get educated. It was not classified that only these people should get educated. In whichever caste you are, creed you are, whether you are poor or whether you are a king, whether you are an ordinary person, men and women, they all went and got educated. And we also find literary evidences which says that men, even after getting married, they used to leave their wife and go and get educated. And they strongly believed that in a very young age itself you should start educating yourself. And this we find in the phrase ilamayil kal, that is, get educated when you are young. And if when you have a child, making them to be seated in the place of great people is the father's duty. And the father only has to make his children sandron, that is a great person. These are considered the duties of a father. And this lines are from literature which says, வேற்றுமை தெரிந்த நாற்பாலிலும் கீழ்பால் ஒருவன் கற்பின் மேற்பால் ஒருவனும் அவன் கண்படுமே. Meaning, வேற்றுமை தெரிந்த நாற்பாலிலும், that is, in a society there are 4 types of classes. In that, கீழ்பால் means a person who is in the lower class, if he is educated, then மேற்பால், a person from a higher class, will go to him to get educated. This is the meaning of this line. And therefore we find that there is no barrier for education. And ஊற்றுழி உதவியும் உருபொருள் கொடுத்தும், that is, either they go and work in the teacher's house, or they will give money. That is, if they are very rich, they will give some money. It can be in the form of rice or anything, gold or anything. They will give it to the teacher, and they'll be obedient, and they will be very loving towards the teacher, and they will get educated from them. And for education, poverty was a hindrance, but we find that everyone were getting educated, because poor people will go and work for the teacher and they will get educated. And we do not have any evidence to say that schools were in this places, but it is understood that all the cities, villages and towns, they had mantrangal, and these mantrangal had a library. So it is understood that in this library, this Ole Suvadigal, palm leaves which are inscribed with literature, would have been kept there. And the teachers will be in that place, where the students will go to the teacher and they will learn from the teacher. And the teacher was called as Kanakayar. This was a name given to the teacher. And there is a line in a book which says, Kanakayar illada orum nanme payathil ill. That is, if there is no teacher in one place, then that place will not benefit anyone. This is a famous line from the books we get in ancient literature. Kulabadi Nakkanar Kedangil, this now present Dindivanam, in that place there was a Sangamish poet, and he has taught more than 1,000 students. This information we get from Kuruntogai. And a teacher who teaches more than 15,000 students is called as Kulapadi. And the place where education was given to the students was called as Palli. And most probably the Palligals were Thinnegal, that is, it will have a platform where the students can sit and study, and the students will have palm leaves, that is Panayole, and they will use Eduthani. It is a nail which is almost like a pen, which can inscribe on these dried palm leaves, and this is how the students learned from the teacher. And when students were learning, they had the habit of irandunam, that is, they'll go around, collect food, and they used to have food in that. So this habit also was there in those days. And along with literature education, they also learned experience. Through experience also, they learned skills. And they were poets who belonged to different caste, and they were all over Tamil Nadu. And along with the help of the kings, in Madurai, they formed the Tamil Sangam, and they helped in the growth of Tamil language. And whatever these poets wrote, ordinary people will listen to it, they will understand it, and they utilized it for living a good life in the Tamil Nadu or wherever they lived here. And along with the kings, even Tamil poets were held in great esteem by the people, and the people respected them. And to the teacher, the students will either give some products, like it can be money or any other products, and they will learn, or they will go and do service to the teacher and they will learn from the teacher. And Tamil Nadu had great poets like Kabilar, Baranar, Thiruvalluvar and Nakkirar. And one person, if he wants to show that he is a knowledgeable person, others will not accept it very easily. So this person has to go and read in front of those person his songs or the book which he has wrote, and that is called as Arangetram, when it is first read in front of those people. And these Sangam Pulavas will all sit in front of him and they will question him, and only when they are satisfied, they all should accept that he is a Sandor, then only he will be accepted. And not only writers, even Kutum Isayam. Kutum means dancing and drama, and Isayam music. All this will be performed in front of the king. And people who were talented in many other platforms, they also used to come and exhibit their talent in front of the king. But in the place, if they find that someone is not talented but he is saying that he knows about it, then a person who is well knowledge about that particular trait or field will call him, challenge him, and will question him in front of everyone. And then they will make him to realize that he is not as talented as he is telling outside, and they will make him to realize it and then send him. This habit was there in those days. And students learned Tolkapiyam and Kake Padinam, which are grammar books. And also there was a max book called as Erambam, which is not available now. And in max, they even had names for very small, minute things, measurement, to very large measurement. For a very small measurement, they called as Tetukal. And what is a Tetukal is, suppose in a dark room, from a small hole the sun's rays is coming, we can find the dust particles moving. This dust particles will be so minute that you cannot see it with ordinary eyes, but in the sun rays, these dust particles will be visible. These small minute dust particles, the measurement of that only is theoretical, and for very big measurement it is called as vellum. And people were very good in astronomy also, and people who were excellent and knowledgeable about this were called as Kanigal, and they knew about satellites and their movement and non-meangal, and about the movement of the moon, and all this they knew very well. And for everything they had separate names, so we can understand how much knowledge these people had about all this. And they said that Nairu, Tingal, Sevai, Budhan, Vyaran, Velli, Sani, Ragu, Kedu are all satellites. In the nowadays, Nairu, Tingal, Ragu, Kedu is removed from satellites, and they did not know that the Earth is also a planet, and they thought that Earth is stationary, that is, it is not moving, it is in the center, and the sun, the moon, and the other satellites are moving around the Earth, which was later on proved to be false. But whatever they had told about the movements of the sun and the moon, whatever they have predicted about these planets and other planets, all have been correct. And this is a very great surprise for us, because in those Sangam age itself, they were able to analyze all this from the earth without any latest equipments and technology. And they had divided 1 year into 12 months. Even this is very surprising, and that they have done with the movement of the sun's rays. And they have decided that they are only 12 months. In a year they are only 12 months, and in how many days the sun is in one rasi, it was taken as 1 month. For example, in Chitrai month, the non-mean will be in the full moon time, and this is called as Chitrai. And in Vaigasi month, the moon will be in Mudumadi in Vishagam, so it was called as Vaigasi. Like that, they had named the months also based on the movement of the sun's rays. So this shows how much they knew about all these things. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.